First off, I wanted to ask you, 3 albums in, arena tours with Florence, how does it feel getting mainstream acceptance? It's something you've never courted, but yet it came to you. Is it quite amusing?
To be honest, I think the amusing parts haven't really. I don't know. I don't think we've seen the amusing parts yet. I mean, lots of amusing things happen to the horrors, but I don't know how many of them are a result of mainstream success.
Is it something you want to resist? I mean, are you okay with that kind of flashbulb parade that's ever encroaching on you guys?
I would never, I'd never sort of discourage or disparage anyone from for liking our records. I think, I don't think any of us want to compromise when we make something. That's the important thing. I think it's great to reach people with stuff that you're happy doing. That's kind of what everyone's aim is.
You've always done exactly what you wanted, as I said. It's evolved at its own pace. Was there ever a point early on where you had A&R whispers in the ear?
No, I think we've been... I don't think we've even... With Polydor, I suppose, being on a major label, you think that they're going to try and control you. It wasn't really the case for us. They were fairly hands-off. And then XL, I don't think we even have an A&R guy. We never hear anything from the label. They don't even hear the demos from the record before they put the finished thing out. So it's pretty good all round.
Last album, self-produced, self-record. You have your own space. How important was that?
I think it shaped the sound of the record. I think it was a big risk. But we'd have made a record either way. I think it was definitely a risk I'm glad we took.
But now you have your own base of operations in a way.
Yeah. That's an exciting thing because we can do... I say we can do what we want, but most of the time Josh is in there sort of welding something, so it's not really... you have to go in there with a hard hat. I think that we're going to do another record there because it's still something that seems exciting to us, and But I think I wouldn't ever rule out. I don't know. You never know what comes up and what we'd like to. People change their ideas, and someone will come in with one idea one day, and it totally shapes the next year. So I don't know. Anything could happen.
Is it difficult to rein yourselves in that regard if you're producing yourselves?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's easy to get carried away if you're maybe if you're producing your own solo record and and you really like long extended guitar riffs. Maybe that would be a bad idea, but I think that with there being 5 of us, I think between us we can trust our own taste enough to not get sucked into any of that. told her I didn't love her anymore, she cried. And when I told her her kisses were not like before, she cried. And when I told her another girl had caught my eye, she cried. And then I kissed her with a kiss that could only mean goodbye. Hi, this is Faris from The Horrors, and you're listening to Two States on RTE 2XM.
I was just wondering, it's just over half a decade since Strange House came out. What's your feeling about it half a decade on?
Well, people are always trying to, make things sound grander than they are. Half a decade is no time at all. 5 years is nothing. I mean, we're still in some ways a new band. I think that you need 10 years to judge. If you have to judge things, to judge a band's worth, and you need 10 years after they've finished, being a band for those 10 years or whatever, to have the hindsight. Because, everyone's sick of things, right after they happen, aren't they? And then they come back around. But I don't know, it feels like we've been in the band for forever, which is totally contradicting what I just said.
What you're referencing there is nostalgic ears. People get nostalgic ears for certain things, and then, Britpop bands reform for twice the money, etc.
Yeah.
How's your feeling? Just relative distance from it.
I feel good about the identity the band has. If that answers the question, I think that there's not really anything I would change in what we've put out, because even the songs that I'm less keen on have shaped the ones, shaped one that we've written the following week. So yeah.
And the contemporaries have been killed off in large numbers, it would seem.
Yeah, I have noticed that a lot recently, but then most bands don't make more than, I suppose most bands don't even make a record, but the bands that do only make one, and then even fewer, it sort of, diminishes. But yeah, it is strange how, I don't know, but I suppose it's always been like that. Bands are very big for a year and then they don't get any bigger and then they disappear, but I don't know, maybe people get out what they want from it.
Well, as a band, do you build up a certain stamina then, 3 albums down the line, touring around the world? Do you feel like you have tour legs?
I've had 2 weeks off, so I'm not going to complain about any of that. We are a touring band, that's the only way we can. Well, up until recently, it's been the only way we could reach our audience. So, it's important for us. And it's important to keep doing it. Also, it's the way we learn to play together. We learn to play our instruments by touring, and it is the reason that we improve, I think.
What would be the simple pleasures missed, though? I mean, if it's 5 years, it's 3 albums, it's touring around the world. Is there much time off for the normal life?
Well, I mean, it depends what what do you think I want that I'm not getting?
That would be for you to tell me, like in terms of everyday things that would be otherwise absent.
Well, I think that I'm pretty happy with the way things go. I mean, I think we all enjoy making music enough to want to do it the whole time. I don't think it's a case of, a desk job that you have to commitments you have to fulfill. I don't know if we'd be able to. I don't think any of us would be able to stand it for very long if it were the case.
as a performer and as if I can use it, a frontman. As a frontman, do you feel like you have less to prove?
I feel more confident. Yeah, in some ways. I don't think it's proving, but it's I feel maybe that if I don't sing well in a particular gig, that it doesn't really mean a great deal, because I feel that I've improved and that I work on improving enough for it not to matter. I don't know. I mean, I want to perform well all the time, and I think all of us want that. But you know, everyone has bad gigs, and it's not the end of the world. I think that's something you learn, because when you first start out, when you perform badly, or you know the band just sounds terrible, it feels like, you know, like a kind of doomsday kind of thing, and it's maybe when you get older you don't feel like that anymore.
The idea of the euphoria of music, and indeed live music, is something that has grown within the Horrors. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost we enjoy music, you know, that makes people feel something, and it doesn't have to be euphoria, but you know, some sort of feeling would be good. And I think when you go see a live band, you know, there's a real opportunity to to connect with people, to sort of move them, and I think that's important to us.
On a good night, how do you feel when you're on stage in the centre of that noise?
I don't know, because it could be there's so many different emotions that can make it a positive gig, you know. I think and even the negative ones are memorable. I mean, you know, some of the most memorable gigs have lasted 10 minutes, and you know, and been more of a battle than a gig, which is kind of, you know, I think when the audience seem really engaged is when I most enjoy it.
And that's even engaged in a negative sense. I mean, you know, some of those early shows, Enemy tours and supporting Arctic Monkeys, etc., where obviously you fed off that energy.
Yeah, I never forgot those gigs. I mean, I always remember them. It's I think you can't beat that, really. I mean, I guess it is quite easy to shock people, but I don't know. Even that, I don't know, people don't do it, maybe.
Starting out, was there, to any extent, a manifesto of sorts? Was there ever any rules?
When we started out, we just wanted to make garage music, so I suppose, you know, we weren't thinking about development then, but when we started playing those songs, I mean, we didn't ever really want to be a retro band, you know. It was always, and in the beginning, mainly because of Josh, who had been learning about, you know, different guitar players who wanted to have their own sound and have their own way of playing, really. I mean, our first rehearsal we did, I think, a cover of Jack the Ripper and the Witch, and then we did this Ramones song, I Don't Want to Go Down to the Basement, which sounded really terrible, but mainly because Josh was doing sort of joke vocals on top of it. But when he wasn't doing that, he was, you know, his attitude towards sound and expression, like, you know, in that form was sort of that. I think that shaped the direction of the band quite heavily.
Scroll
Hi, this is Faris from the Horrors, and you're listening to Two States on RTE 2XM.
Obviously, album number 4, it's a distance away, but in your head at least, where do you want to go with it?
I have no idea. None of us, we have ideas, but we don't have any. I think that the themes of a record really sort of become more obvious when you're a bit further down the line, even when it's nearly finished. I think that otherwise it just gets a bit weird if you try and make, if you start genre hopping, and trying to make a country record or a metal record or whatever each time. It's just, I don't think it's natural. I don't think it comes across as genuine or having any sort of integrity. So I don't think that's really what we've ever been about. But we do like experimenting and learning and things like that, and I think that's what will shape the next record.
It's as much about surprising yourself.
I don't know about surprising yourself. It's just about learning and wanting to improve and develop, and I don't know, in some ways for your own sake, because I think if you trust your own taste, then your fans are going to come with you and appreciate what you're doing for the same reasons that you do, maybe.
Let me ask you, what do you think you've learned from Skying, and indeed the reception and the kind of... It's been nearly a year now, isn't it, since it's been out?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know when it came out exactly. I think probably about a year. Well, I mean, I think one of the things I learned was that, you can... I guess I didn't really think about it like this, but, some of the vocals on the record were just recorded at home with like the cheapest mic available, with me sitting down, and I mean, Wild Eyed that wasn't even a take. That was like the first take ever of that song, because the vocal didn't exist yet. It was it's literally like me coming up with the vocal melody, and that happened to be the take we used. You can even hear, my phone gets a text in the background halfway through the first verse, and I'd forgotten to turn it off. But I mean, things like that is sort of it's interesting for me, because it's like all these lessons. The main lessons are ones that you don't need to be highly technically able or schooled or anything. In traditional ways, I think that you can sort of find your own way of expressing your ideas. I think that's a lot more important than than taking extensive lessons or becoming a blues guitarist.
You said with almost a shudder there, blues guitarist.
No, I'm not knocking the blues. It's just not something I want to pursue.
Sure. Are there misconceptions still with regard to the Horrors?
I don't know, because I think that the way we're perceived isn't really anything to do with us. It's not really something that is important to me, because I don't know. Music is personal or whatever, if that doesn't sound stupid. I think that I don't really want to tell anyone what to think about our music or anyone else's. It sort of belongs to you, doesn't it? Cool.
Right, thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks very
Cheers.
much. Thank you.